My name is Miguel, and in 1996 I worked as an electrician for the energy company in Rio de Janeiro. The job was simple: maintaining power poles, fixing damaged wiring, and every now and then, responding to customers who swore their lights flickered on their own. I never cared for superstitions. It was always the same thing: worn-out cables, exposed wires, and a gambiarra, a desperate, improvised fix that someone thought would work. The city was different back then. Rio had a certain glow in its misery, a way of smiling even when everything threatened to collapse. The boutiquines, small, hole-in-the-wall bars where people gathered to drink, talk, and escape their troubles, were always packed. The streets were a chaos of honking horns, street vendors, and the promise of a night that always seemed to swallow the day. But there was also a shadow hanging over everything, a fear no one quite named. People disappeared. Some came back. Others were never heard from again. The police called it just life, but deep down everyone knew there was more to it. I never cared about any of that, until that day. My radio crackled just as I finished tightening a screw at the top of a power pole in Copacabana. "Miguel, we got a power outage in Catumbi. Rua Senator Pompeu. Go check it out." The company radio was old. My supervisor's voice came through like it was underwater. But something else came with it. A strange interference. A muffled sound, almost a whisper, cutting in and out. "Don't go down." I stared at the device, frowning. Had to be static, just some random glitch. I answered that I was on my way and climbed down. Catumbi wasn't the safest place at night, but I wasn't afraid. I just wanted to get the job done. When I got there and I found a blown transformer and sparks dancing in the dark, I got ready to climb the pole when the radio crackled again. This time the voice was clear, but wrong. It was a child, and it sounded like me when I was little. "It's cold down here." I froze, looked around, the dark alley, the closed windows, the empty street. I hesitated, then pressed the radio button. "Who's talking?" A strange silence fell around me, heavy. Then another voice, a woman's, old, slow, like dead weight. "You left us here, Miguel." My stomach turned. My whole body went cold. I stared at the radio like it was something alive. And then came the third voice. It wasn't begging for help. It wasn't sad. It was laughing. Laughing like it knew something I didn't. "Think you can run, Miguel?" The sadistic voice whispered. "Think you can forget? That's funny. You were always so practical, so rational. But I remember everything. Everything." The laughter cracked through the radio like snapping fingers, sharp, piercing. "Who are you?" I shouted, but the laughter only grew louder. The street around me seemed darker, the wind colder. The smell of wet earth filled my nose, metallic, thick. The child's voice returned, closer now, whimpering. "Miguel, please, it's dark. It's so dark here, and I'm alone." I closed my eyes for a moment, my chest tight. Something about this felt familiar, something I wanted to forget. The old woman cut in. "He's not alone. There are others. Do you know how many, Miguel? Do you know their names? Their ages?" Her voice was a creak, an old gate swaying in the wind. "You can't run. You can't cover the hole." The bitter taste of bile rose in my throat. My knees felt weak. I needed to leave. I needed to turn off the radio. I needed to forget. I started dreaming of a place, a dark hole, an open grave in the earth. I was there small, crying. Someone beside me whispered that I had to cover the hole and forget. I never saw the face, only felt the weight of throwing dirt over it, burying whatever lay inside. The last time the radio crackled, I wasn't at work. I was at home in the middle of the night. I woke up to the sound, and the child's voice returned. "Why did you do it, Miguel?" I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed my car keys and drove straight to Katumbi, my knuckles white on the steering wheel, my heart pounding. I knew I had to go back. When I arrived, a wave of déjà vu hit me. The alley, the darkness, the smell of damp earth, and there in the middle of the dirt ground a hole. Open. Waiting. And then the radio crackled one last time. The cruel voice didn't laugh, it whispered. Now it's your turn, Miguel. And then, silence.
My name is Felix. I work as a rideshare driver in Amsterdam. Most people think this city is all about tourism, bicycles, and canals. But for those who live here, it's a living organism. It breathes, pulses, shifts, and sometimes it swallows you whole. Here, between the narrow streets and the red lights reflecting on the water, things lurk in the margins, things the maps don't show. It was October, early evening. Autumn painted the city in a melancholy gray, and the light drizzle made everything shimmer with dampness. The scent of wet leaves and coffee hung in the air, mingled with the sweet aroma drifting from the coffee shops. The canal lights flickered in the dark water, and I drove slowly, watching the silhouettes of cyclists cutting through the streets like fleeting shadows. I had been driving all day, picking up tourists, office workers, drunk couples. I was exhausted, but I decided to take one last ride before heading home. A notification popped up on the app. Passenger, anonymous. Strange thing, but in Amsterdam, nothing surprised me anymore. The pickup location, a narrow alley in Jordan, one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city. I got there in minutes. The street was empty, tight, with tall, leaning buildings arching over me. The streetlights cast long, stretched-out shadows, and the canal water beside me was restless, rippling as if something unseen was moving just beneath the surface. I waited a while, checking the rearview mirror. Nothing. I honked, the sound muffled by the strange silence hanging over the street. No doors open, no movement. I was about to cancel the ride when I felt it. I didn't see it. I felt it. A dark blur in the mirror's reflection, a flicker at the edge of my vision, something that shouldn't have been there. I turned quickly, but the backseat was empty. I sighed, chuckling at myself. The exhaustion was playing tricks on me. But when I looked at the mirror again, it was there. Not a passenger, not exactly. It was a presence, a shadow with indistinct contours, a face without clear features, like a distorted reflection in the canal's water. It sat there, motionless. The voice came, but not through my ears. It resonated inside my mind. Ray, drive. My heart pounded, and a chill ran up my spine. I tried asking for the destination, but my mouth wouldn't move. My muscles seemed to act on instinct. Without thinking, I pressed the gas, and the car glided through the narrow streets, as if it already knew the way. The city lights began to change. The shop windows looked blurred, as if a sheet of glass separated me from reality. The cyclists vanished around corners before I could fully see them. The bridges over the canal seemed to multiply, folding over themselves. Folie? Do you feel it? I didn't know how to respond. Feel what? Fear, or something deeper, like I was leaving a place I had never truly been. The route led us to De Wallen, the red light district. But unlike usual, the windows were dark. No women behind the glass, no drunken laughter on the streets, only a thick silence pressing against my chest. That's when I realized the passenger was no longer just a reflection in the mirror. Now he was actually there in the backseat, but something was wrong. He had no shadow. Waarom kijk je nooit naar waar je gaat, Felix? Why do you never look where you're going, Felix? And that's when I understood. I wasn't driving. I was being driven. The wheel was in my hands, but my fingers no longer felt like mine. The streets twisted, folded, pulling me toward a place that shouldn't exist. The car stopped on its own in front of an old building by the canal. It was different from the others. No signs, no lights, no sound. It seemed to absorb the night itself. The figure in the backseat vanished, but the doors locked on their own. My chest tightened. I lifted my gaze, and then I saw it. In the building's windows, faces. Mine. each one reflecting expressions I had never made, yet somehow they belonged to me. I stepped out of the car, my feet unsteady on the damp pavement. The ground felt less solid, as if I was stepping into the mist itself, and then I heard it. Not the passenger's voice, mine. Yuvas higher altate. You have always been here. And in that moment I understood. Amsterdam never lets us go. It reshapes us, dissolves us, and scatters us into the crowd. The story ends with me, sitting inside the car, back in Leidschendam, the city's buzzing center. But something has changed. And if you drive in the city, if you pick up strangers late at night, look at them closely. If their reflection in the window isn't quite what you expect, it might already be too late.
My name is Kenji. I'm 24 years old and work the night shift as a cashier at a 24-hour supermarket in Tokyo. In this city of neon and concrete, where days blur into nights without boundaries, the late hours are often strange. But nothing like this. Tokyo is an organized, functional city. But beneath the bright avenues, there are alleys and shadows that seem to have a will of their own. Maybe it's just exhaustion talking. My shift starts at 10 p.m. and ends at 6 a.m. Time drags when there are no customers, but tonight was different. My automatic customer service voice rings out as the first customer of the night approaches. He's a thin man with sparse hair and almost translucent skin. His eyes are sunken, as if he hasn't blinked in days. He places a single item on the conveyor belt, a bag of coarse salt, plain packaging, no brand. I punch in the code and tell him the price. He hands me the coins without a word and leaves. Nothing unusual. But then, another customer. Another pale person, vacant stare, the same empty expression. The same item. Another bag of coarse salt. And another. And another. With each customer, the silence grows heavier. They all buy the same salt, the exact same brandless package. No one speaks. The only sounds are the beat of the scanner and the metallic clink of coins. The entire supermarket seems to breathe differently. The air smells like something I can't describe. By the fifth person, my chest tightens. I have to break this sickening cycle. It's getting cold out there, huh? My voice comes out strained. No response. He just takes the bag of salt and walks away. The register screen reflects my pale, sweaty face. My uniform clings to me. Something is wrong. I try to remember if there's a sale on salt. Nothing. Then I notice their hands. Thin fingers, darkened nails like they've been digging into something for a long time. Like they've clawed their way out from underground. The next customer places his salt on the conveyor belt. He's barefoot. My stomach churns. The supermarket floor is cold, but his feet don't seem to feel it. The soles are dark, cracked, like he's walked for miles across an ashen wasteland. I lift my eyes to meet his, and for the first time, one of them looks back at me. There's no life there. The automatic door chime rings. More customers enter. All the same, the supermarket is full of them now. Each one grabs a single bag of salt and walks toward the register. The air thickens as if I'm underwater. My fingers tremble as I type in the codes. The scanner beeps endlessly. Salt. 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 The clinking of coins sounds sharper, harsher, like it's scraping against reality itself. I take a deep breath and glance at the security camera above me. The screen should show the supermarket, but it's dark, not turned off. Dark. As if there's no light inside at all. I look around. The aisles seem longer. A distant echo follows each step I take. I'm standing still, but I feel like I'm moving. I step out from behind the register. I need to see this up close. I take a step and realize the sound of my own footsteps is wrong, as if my feet are slightly out of sync with the rest of my body. I turn right toward the canned goods aisle. It doesn't end. I keep walking. The shelves look identical, as if I'm passing through the same spot over and over again. Bottles of soy sauce and packs of instant noodles repeat endlessly. I stop. I turn around. The register where I stood is gone. In its place, more endless aisles. My chest tightens and cold sweat drips down my neck. I try to run back, but the shelves stretch farther. The supermarket swallows the space around me. Kenji. I freeze. Someone called my name. It wasn't a whisper. It was a dry, direct summons. I turn, and a figure stands among the shelves. It wasn't one of the customers. It was me. No, something that looked like me. Same uniform, same hair. But the eyes were empty, sunken black as the aisles. The mouth curls into something that resembles a smile. Behind it, the salt-blind customers begin to approach. Their steps make no sound. Their eyes fixate on me, as if I'm the last item on the shelf. My legs refuse to move. The supermarket around me breathes. Shelves ripple like the ribs of some vast creature, and I have nothing more than an insect in its stomach. It's your turn. My voice, which is not mine, echoes in the empty space. Then, in the blink of an eye, I'm back at the register. The supermarket is empty. The bags of salt are gone. The clock reads 5:55. My shift ends in 5 minutes. The silence is absolute. My fingers shake as I touch the register screen. The security camera is working again. My reflection is there, but for a brief moment I see another shake behind me. Something that is still here. Something that let me go, this time,